time for some VSiN morning daily bets. We fire things up on this Monday. Excited to talk a little Major League Baseball with a good slate of action coming up to start your week. A lot of really good pitching matchups as well, and I'm going to start by isolating a guy who is coming off a great performance, who has very good underlying numbers, and gets an offense now coming to his park who has really struggled over the last month or so. I'm talking about Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants. We'll start there. Really good series that gets underway in the NL West. Padres take 2 of 3 from the Pirates over the weekend. Now they go to San Francisco to take on the Giants. Webb versus Kolek. Looking at some overnight pricing here, it is definitely a pitching edge for the Giants. Minus 180 consensus you have to lay. Low total, though, a 7. Going out into that marine layer in the Bay of San Francisco. But it's an interesting thing to parse through what is the best angle to bet Logan Webb. There's a lot of different ways you can go. K-prop has been very popular, especially for a guy who traditionally has only been a 7 or 8 strikeout per 9 guy. But Logan Webb, while he's always been so consistent, has generally not missed a ton of bats, yet here he is in 2025 striking out now 10.3 batters per 9 innings. Just struck out 10 in 7 innings against the Tigers his last start, in which he was awesome. But I'm going to look at a different angle because San Diego has really struggled. They're a 92 WRC plus hitting team over the last 30 days. On the season, that ranks tied for 23rd. Bottom 10 offense over the last month, well below their season average, which is about league average, 99 on the WRC plus. In general, 100 is right at average in that WRC plus, the weighted runs created plus metric. So San Diego has not been able to put a lot of runs in bunches together. Been a really uninspiring team who's well below 500 against above 500 teams, but they beat up on a lot of bad teams. They and Philadelphia, very similar in the NL this year. But San Francisco playing pretty good baseball, and I'm excited to see this matchup. But instead of looking to take a strikeout prop angle here with Webb, pulling up what the Webb angle is right now, the full number, it's for his strikeout prop, it's 4.5. That's heavy juice on the minus 155. I'm partially not taking it because I don't like laying big juice when you're talking individual player props, and also because the Padres have not been a good offense, but they at least put bats to baseballs. I'll instead look at the outs recorded prop here for Logan Webb. Latest I'm seeing 19.5. That means he has to, that's pretty deep, right? He's got to record 2 outs there in the 6th inning. Got to go 6 2/3. But against this Padre current iteration of the offense, which against Pittsburgh struggled to do anything. I was at the game on Friday night at Petco. That was a 3-2 drag-em-out tussle. The Padres got very fortunate to come back and win. They had to rally after getting shut out Saturday. Came back, were fortunate to win on Sunday after getting down in an early 4-1 hole for most of that game. Do like Webb to come out and shove to get your week off to a good start there. Webb, we'll look at that out prop there. It's a big premium to pay, but a guy who's been locked in as of late, over 19.5 for Logan Webb. And just interested in general to see how the series goes for San Francisco. Giants entering play 33-26. They've been a great home team. Webb's been a big part of that. 17-9 at AT&T Park. Right now, 3 back of the Dodgers, 1 back of the Padres for second in the division. And as we mentioned, San Diego below 500 against above 500 teams this year. They have struggled in the marquee matchups. They've gotten punched in the mouth at times against the Cubs, most notably. Some other series where it hasn't gone well for San Diego, and they probably should have lost that last series against the Pirates, but came out on the winning side. So that's the main game I'm looking at here for the Monday card. Other games of note elsewhere. We're waiting on lines still to come out. However, for college baseball, we've got 5 different Game 7 win or take all games to win the regional, that it comes all down to one game. And one of the Cinderella stories, there are 2 number 4 seeds. One of them, Murray State, the Racers out of the Missouri Valley Conference. They got pounded today. They won their first 2 games, beat Ole Miss on Friday in a huge upset. Well, they got pounded today by Ole Miss. Rebels have to win 2 straight games, though, to beat Murray State. What I'm expecting is to see, after a huge upset and then a huge blowout, right? Murray State loses 19-8, but that game got out of hand quick. They went to a lot of seldomly used guys out of the bullpen, kind of used arms just to get through that game. Murray State will actually be in a pretty good position arms-wise, more so than you would expect for a 4 seed at this stage in NCAA regionals. So Ole Miss, they're trying to become and do the rare thing of lose the first game and then win 4 straight games to win a regional. That has only happened 7% of the time historically, yet because they're a 1 seed, because Murray State's a 4, and Ole Miss plays in the mighty SEC. Rebels will be significant favorites in this game, over $3. They were 3.5-run favorites on the run line in Sunday's game, which Ole Miss had to win to force this winner-take-all game on Monday. But Ole Miss, the inconsistencies we've seen so far, and they can put up runs in bunches, but I'm still skeptical about the pitching against the Murray State offense that is proven time and again. They're able to hit with the big boys. They did it throughout the Missouri Valley against lesser competition. They showed out in midweek games, put up runs in bunches. I expect them to do more of the same. So we'll look at Murray State on the run line. You'll likely be catching 3.5 runs in that instance. I think they hang tight with Ole Miss. I expect the Rebels to ultimately edge their way through, but this will be a lot closer than people expect. And it speaks to how hard it is to lose your first game, then have to win 4 straight when your depth gets pressed so much and the amount of weight and strain placed on your pitchers only increases as you get deeper into that 4-game slog with absolutely no margin for error. So of the 5 winner-take-all games for Game 7 in the regionals, that's the one I like the most. Give me the run line for Murray State plus 3.5 runs. They were 30-1 to win their regional. Ole Miss was minus 105, but how things can change over a 6-game span in the regional so far. Winner goes to the Super Regionals, which is the final 16 teams. That's a look at college baseball for Monday. Let's also talk some French Open betting for your Monday. Good angles here to take a look at as we are into the round of 16. The final few matches to determine the quarters. Quarters get started on Tuesday. On men's side, a lot of big favorites. Novak Djokovic, a heavy favorite as he tries to go for one last Grand Slam victory. It's going to be long odds. He's in the same part of the draw as the number 1 seed in Jannik Sinner. Djokovic would be a big dog in that match, but at least for tomorrow, he's a huge favorite over minus 1,400 now after opening up about minus 800 in his particular match against Cam Norrie, the Brit. Djokovic has never lost in that head-to-head against Norrie. There's some alt sort of prices you could play. You could get Djokovic to win in straight sets at around minus 125. I'm staying away, but that's probably the marquee match on the men's side as Djokovic has seemingly gained some confidence after being completely out of form. Multiple first-round losses in the run-up to Roland Garros in this clay court season, but he's looked a lot better now that we've gotten into that best-of-5 set tennis format. And he takes on a Brit Norrie who has struggled to ever impose his will and get into a match against Djokovic. On the women's side, the American Coco Gauff in action. I am playing her match against Ekaterina Alexandrova. Over 7.5 breaks a serve. That's my best bet on the French Open side for this Monday. Gets underway at 5 a.m. Eastern. Early start here, so want to get on top of this right away. But Gauff has been the best woman on tour over the last 52 weeks, returning serve on the clay. She's been exceptional, winning about half of her return points won. That's a ridiculous number. Put that into context. A lot of men's players, they don't even get to 40% in a lot of these services, especially when you look at hard court. So while clay is more conducive to breaks, 50% is a gargantuan number. And Ekaterina Alexandrova not far behind. She's 5th on tour in return points won. I expect there to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of exchange of breaks in this match. So I'll go over 7.5. Price I got on that for the Gauff-Alexandrova match, sitting there at minus 125. Also, don't be afraid to throw Gauff in a moneyline parlay. I do expect her to get the job done as she's been in tremendous form. The 5th betting favorite on the odds board at 4th betting favorite, at plus 550. I'll parlay her with the 3rd betting favorite, Mira Andreeva, at 5-1. Andreeva's 5-1 to win the tournament. She's minus 380 against Daria Kasatkina, who's plus 310 coming back. Andreeva continues to have a breakout campaign. You combine Andreeva and Gauff to each take care of business on the bottom half of the draw Monday, get to the women's quarters, which start Tuesday along with the men. Everybody will be in action on Tuesday. That 2-leg parlay for Gauff and Andreeva, and you get a payout of minus 134. That's a look at your VSiN morning daily bets for this Monday, June the 2nd.